The third passage of the projects is from Ovid's the Fasti. This looks to be some type of passage that's describing a character named Arion, kind of similar qualities to Orpheus. Here, he's important to the story is that he's recently won a musical competition in Sicily, and he's attempting to return back to his home. Um, and it seems that the ship that he's chartering here is going to try to steal his prizes from the competition. So let's hear Ovid tell the story of Arion. This is in meter. I think it's elegiac couplets. Anyways, this part right here is a little reminiscent of a Dido part from the Aeneid. Anyways, what sea does not know? What land, tellus quae, what land does not know? Arion. Ariona here is a Greek accusative form. Third declension has that A there for third. Anyways, Greek form. Uh, with his song, that man, Arion, he was keeping or he was holding the aquas correntes, the flowing or the running, literally the running waters. Often, another present active participle, a pursuing or maybe a wolf pursuing a lamb. Est retentus, he a kind of a split perfect passive verb here. Yeah, this wolf was held or maybe like held in place by his voice. Often, anaphora here, often the fleeing lamb, or maybe a lamb fleeing a greedy wolf, inverted roles there in these two lines. This lamb, though, it stood in its place. Um, then seeking to return or just returning, seeking to return a domum to return home, Arion, he climbed aboard a ship, a pupum, and he was carrying, he was so carrying the opes, the riches, the winnings obtained by his craft, by his art from the music contest. Perhaps, unlucky one. Timebas, you were fearing the winds and the waves, but the sea ichor was to use was here comparative was safer. Ablative comparison was safer than your ship. Indeed, the pilot, the gubernator, he stood with a drawn sword, and it looks like maybe like the other Confederate, the other Allied crew members of the ship, the turba, the crowd, literally, they also constituted implied were standing arma matu with armed hands. The footnote tells you to take armata as modifying manu. I guess there must be a macron over this A. Okay. Anyways, that man, I think this is Arion here, he, I guess, pale with fear because of fear, he said, I do not pray against or try to like change your ways by prayer or turn you away from my death, but I think this is a deliberative subjunctive, but may it be allowed some kind of question subjunctive? May it be allowed? Maybe and then an oot implied, or even may it be allowed mihi for me to referre to relate, to say even palka a few things, and sumpta lyra, I think macrons over these a's, abldos to say a few things with my lyre, sumpta taken up in my hands. I guess the pirates, I guess they're basically pirates at this point, the crew members, they grant his pardon, they grant his wish, essentially, to sing to them before they kill him, and they mock his delay. That man, Arion, he takes up or puts on his crown, that I assume this is one of his winnings from the contest, that laurel wreath, which maybe like another potential subjunctive here, posit, which would could have like decorated, which could have decorated, adorned. We get some apostrophe here, adorned your Crines, your locks, Phoebus Apollo. He had put on The palm here, the cloak, again, another winning of his contest here. He put on the cloak twice stained, this ting tom, twice stained, how so with Tyrian or Tyrian murica, Tyrian purple dye. He returned. What does he return here? Suo sonos. He returned his sounds. Maybe like two. He returned them to corda to the strings. Struck icta pollice with his thumb. With pitiable measures or numbers, literally, but these are bars of music with with bars that cause weeping, flebibus, just as a swan sings, a swan trajectus pierced through. And this is a middle participle, so there's a lot of weird stuff going on, but it's pierced through. The accusative here of this middle participle pierced through conentia tempora, pierced through its white, maybe like head even, yeah, temples or brow, and pierced through dura, I think macron over the A, as well as macron over the A and penna, pierced through with a tough or hardened arrow. Penna can actually mean feather, but feathers are used to make arrows. So maybe like this could be a form of synecdoche on penna. Anyways, holistically, they're a little a simile, right? Comparing his song that a pitiable song that he's singing to a swan that's just been essentially killed by an arrow as it sings out its final song. Protinus straight away, Ornatus decked out, I guess, wearing all the crown and the cloak. He jumped down into the midst of the waves. The poop is here, the deck of the ship. It's Spargator is sprinkled, is sprinkled. I guess the deck struck is sprinkled Caerula aqua with blue water. Then, believe more, a little kind of parenthetical there, believe it more. Let's see. Memorat here, kind of just like they recount, they relate, they remember that indirect speech that a dolphina, that a dolphin, another Greek accusative, upon or on its or even with its curved back, this dolphin saponuisse, it placed itself, the dolphin placed itself under and sub, right? Sub ponuisse, it placed itself under. We have some datives with a compound verb with that. It placed itself under. It's a new or fresh weight, meaning when he jumped off the deck, a dolphin just popped up out of the water and essentially caught him. Um, and so he's like riding the dolphin now on its curved back. That man, and yeah, here you go. That man sitting and holding his lyre, dithyramb, he sings for he both sings for the price of being conveyed, a gerund here of being carried, and he calms the sea waters, Carmine, with his song.